Hello friends, and welcome back to another video. It's Grace, and the video that I'm going to be doing today is talking you through my reading goals for 2022 because wow, it is fast approaching. I almost can't believe it. But this is going to be my first end of year season on BookTube since I started my channel like late this April, and this is one video that I have always liked watching from other people, so I thought that I would try it out for myself and see if I can set some goals for the year of 2022 that aren't going to restrict me so much but are really meant to motivate my reading. So the very first one, I tried not to make these too, I guess, ambitious because I want there to be goals that I can actually meet. I don't want to be struggling with them. I just want this to be a little bit of motivation for me. So first off, I'm going to set my reading total for 2022 at a goal of 70 books because as we speak, it is the first week of December. I am at a total of 68 books and I am going to finish a few more books soon. So I think that this is a very reasonable goal for me. I don't think that it will be too challenging, but it's high enough while also being low enough that I'm pretty sure that I can achieve it. I'm not like saying that I'm gonna read 100 books or something like that when that's something that I have never even come close to before. So next year I will set my Goodreads reading challenge at 70 books and see how that goes. Goal number 2 is that I want to read at least one non-sci-fi fantasy book per month in 2022. So I'm not sure how hard this one will be for me, but I find myself sometimes getting a little bit carried away in the sense that I will buy books of other genres, like whether it's classics, whether it's contemporary, like horror, whatever have you. And I will know that I genuinely want to read them, but it's my instinct to reach for fantasy books right now because there are so many series that I'm excited about. There are so many books that I hear about that I just want to read right away. And so sometimes, without even realizing it, I will just read a bunch of fantasy books in a row. And for one, I want to be able to make sure that I'm giving the other books on my shelf the attention because I know that if I make an effort to pick them up, chances are there are books in there that I am really gonna love and I'm gonna like most of them anyway. I just have to make a little bit of a conscious effort to choose them. And the second thing is that I don't want to have fantasy burnout either because I've gone in the past maybe year and a half from not really being familiar with the current state of fantasy to trying to catch up on like everything. So I don't want to burn myself out. And that is the goal of this goal. Now, my third goal in the year of 2022 is to read more self-published books. And this has been a goal of mine for a while, but I've found myself getting caught up in series and wanting to finish things, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it has just prevented me a little bit from putting my focus onto looking for self-published books. And so I thought to myself about how I could quantify this because, like I said, I don't want these goals to be super restrictive. I want them to be achievable for me. So I thought that doing like a timed thing would be a little bit too much. So I decided ultimately to set my goal at 5 self-published books for the year of 2022. And that is something that I really think that I can do. And because of that, I think that it would just be great if I can do more than that. And it's the type of thing where if I achieve this and I go above it, then that's even better. My fourth reading goal for the coming year is the most specific one on the list, and that is to finish The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. So as the wind blows right now, or as the wheel weaves, if you will, my Wheel of Time read for the month of December is The Path of Daggers, which is the 8th book in the series, and there are 6 more books following that. So there are 3 more Robert Jordan books, 9, 10, and 11, and then the 3 Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson books, 12, 13, and 14. So my goal is to simply finish The Wheel of Time in 2022. I don't want to put too much pressure on it because this is looking like something that I will be able to do, but my ultimate goal would be to continue my path of one book per month and to finish in the summer, in the month of June. So that might be a little bit ambitious. We will see how that goes. But I would be very happy if I could just finish by sometime in the summer, whether that is July or August. So I do have goals in my head about finishing series and trying to close things out, but the super big one that I am mired in right now is Wheel of Time, so that is my primary goal for finishing that off. My fifth goal concerns the format that I'm reading in. So I have always been someone who prefers physical books, but I want to try my hand at making sure that I'm paying attention to all the different mediums that are available to us. So I've recently been reading a little bit more on my Kindle, and I do kind of just have a generic goal to pay more attention to my Kindle TBR, even though it's sometimes hard for me because I can see the books on my shelves, whereas I can't see the books on my Kindle unless I open it. It's sort of like object permanence. I don't know, I might be an infant. But my specific goal for this is concerning audiobooks, because I have listened to a couple audiobooks. I listened to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and then I listened to a little bit of The Hobbit, but I ultimately ran out of time on that one on my library loan. But basically, I just want to give audiobooks a very fair shot, because recently I've been thinking my brain is not the best at processing audiobooks, so I'm thinking that instead of trying to read fantasy books on audio, maybe I can try and read other types of books on audio, and my goal is to try out at least 3 audiobooks because I want to give it a fair shot. I want to see whether it's something that I'm going to enjoy or not, and try and actually make an educated decision on that instead of just being scared and not trying it. And then my final reading goal as of now for the year 2022 is a little bit less numeric based and a little bit more personal based. And I don't want to call it selfish, but in a way, that's what it is. This goal is basically to make sure that I am making an effort to pick up books that I am excited about. That's not to say that I'm not going to join any buddy reads or join any read-alongs, because I always really have fun reading things with other people and doing things like that. But, and I'm sure that a lot of other people can relate to this, sometimes you find yourself pushing off the things that you wanted to read in favor of things that you feel like you should read at the time. And there's nothing wrong with that, like if you want to be part of the discussion, you know, and I've done that myself and I've enjoyed being part of the discussion. So it's not as though you're not enjoying those books that you're reading. But I want to just make sure that if I'm picking something up, it's because I want to, it's because I think that I'm going to enjoy it, and not really because of any sort of like external pressures or something like that. So I hope that that makes sense. It's a little bit more of a selfish goal, but I think that it will help. I think that it is really beneficial to focus on the enjoyment of your reading, because that's why we do this. So, on the whole, I think that this is a really reasonable set of goals for the coming year of reading. I didn't want to get too specific, and I really wanted to allow myself to set goals that I will actually be able to achieve. So let me know what you think of my goals. Let me know some of your goals, or I'm sure that a ton of people are going to be doing this video as well. So I am looking forward to seeing what your goals are going to be for the coming year. So like if you liked this video, subscribe if you want to see more content from me, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye!